So sorry for the delay. We were trying to get the
lights and all
making
this
sure
stuff.
everything was set up so we can all be in the
Oh no, don't even worry about it. It's
It's totally fine.
you should have seen us trying to like get stuff set up earlier on. It was not.
Yeah,
it was not cool.
we should have ran a BTS on this.
Oh my god, it's so nice to talk to you guys in person. Like Olga, you and I have been speaking back and forth for so long, and I can finally talk to you.
And I'm new. I'm shy. I don't think I've said hi or introduced myself yet. I'm Tony. It's very nice to see you guys.
Tony, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Do you guys mind if we pick your brain about your jobs in the movie and everything for a little bit?
Oh, please do. We're ready to spill all the tea. Let's go.
Well, to get us started, how long have you guys been like working together? When did you guys meet and like personally, professionally, what's up?
So we met on Terrifier.
Oh.
But it feels like we've known each other for 20 years, honestly, which is weird because Jackie's only 23, 24.
Yeah, 24.
We're age buddies.
So I met Jackie on Terrifier. I met Brit through my cousin, and we all are family now. Seriously.
That was kind of a fun story. For me, I came into this as a fan of the first Terrifier.
Wow.
And Olga's cousin, who is a friend of mine, mentioned she knows how much I love horror movies, and she mentioned that her cousin was doing wardrobe for a horror movie. I said, "Oh, which one?" And she said Terrifier. I was like, "Shut your mouth." I'm like, "Wait."
Oh my god.
I'm like, I don't want to be like crazy stalker person. I said, "But can you like tell her I love Terrifier, and like if she can get the clown's autograph?" I'm like, "I'll do whatever." And so she put me in touch, and we hit it off right away. She's the sweetest person you will ever talk to. And
look who's talking.
Yeah, that's kind of how things happened. It was very fateful.
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
That is incredible. I love, Britt, I love how you were a fan of the first movie and you got to work on the sequel. That's like a dream come true.
It is truly, it's a dream come true, really. And everybody has been like just the greatest group of people. And I've made some of the best friends of my life working on Terrifier. Who would have thought a maniacal clown would enrich my life so much, but there it is.
I feel like that's a sentiment most people in like this fan base share with each other, where it's like you meet the sweetest people. We have like a whole Discord server full of them, and it's all because of that, all of that's going on. Okay. I guess like, we all have a sick sense of humor.
Yeah, and it's like
have to.
You guys made this movie what it is. Like, that's your creative work, your aesthetics, like the hair, the makeup, the designs. That's all because of you guys. That's from your brains.
Everything that we love about that so much. It was like...
And I just got goosebumps.
Thank you so much.
That means so much, seriously.
It wouldn't be what it is without you guys' influence. And I think that, like... We're media analysts. We're super into everything. Sorry, I'm like, my brain is so scrambled right now.
Mine too.
We are super into like the symbolism and the visual like juxtaposition between these two leads and everything. And without you guys, that wouldn't have been possible. So much characterization and stuff. You know, it's a collaborative effort, and we just appreciate you, honestly.
Oh my god, that is so incredibly touching.
We appreciate you for acknowledging.
It means so much, seriously.
I just want to ask, Brett mentioned how she got involved. So for Olga and Jackie, I'm really curious. How did you get involved in Terrifier 2? How did that happen?
Mine's not that interesting. I went to makeup school. I went to makeup designery in the city, and they have, it's called the Mercury Report, where they just have a list of all like registered upcoming movies and shows like in the industry being filmed. And I went through it every week, and I found one that it was like, hey, this is in New York. And then 2 weeks after graduating, Damien emailed me back, and
that's amazing.
Such a Damien thing to do.
So I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And I wasn't ready.
Well, you know what? I was saying to I believe I said it to Lauren when we interviewed her. The makeup in this movie just looked fucking awesome. Everyone looked gorgeous. So I think you outdid yourself.
goddess,
yeah.
wizard.
Thrown to the wolves.
My mother does not even. My mother doesn't even like horror movies that much, like not slashers or anything. And even she was sitting next to me and she's like, everybody in this movie and everything in this movie looks like how it did when I was a kid in the 80s. And it was like so touching to her, just to see that sort of aesthetic replicated so faithfully. And I was telling her about you guys a little bit, and I'm like, we're actually interviewing the people who made that movie look like that. We're like, we're just gonna have a little chat with them. And she thought that was the coolest shit ever. Pardon my French, but yeah, no, I think we should just get right into it, man. There is so much stuff in like the meat of this movie's wardrobing and environmental visuals and everything that like deepens the characters and makes them parallel one another. The way that the rooms were decorated is a big one. Jonathan's, Allie's blessed sign.
Oh, that was so funny. Poor Allie.
But like a lot of Sienna's outfit choices, the sneaking in of like the black and white sweater and everything, with art getting into her head. What were some things that you guys have been waiting, any choices that you guys contributed to or made that you've just been waiting for somebody to like notice or talk about or analyze that you haven't really seen speculated on yet?
Well, I guess it has been discussed, but I think one of my favorite contributions we made is the Queen Phoenix poster in Sienna's room.
Oh, Damien.
That was actually the first.
We have a mini one.
That was actually how I got involved in the, in the art department on this film.
Yes.
I got little ones printed for.
I love that fucking
poster. Yeah,
that
so
was
so much fun.
When I was in the trenches with Damien, and meaning that all the prep work we were doing like 24/7 leading up to filming, we would discuss like random things. So, we listened to a lot of 80s music, and, just randomly he mentioned that if I was a woman, I would have a band called Queen Phoenix. And I was like, you don't tell me things like that and don't expect me to run with it. So I kind of like surprised him with, talking to Brit about my idea, and we collaborated on this incredible, she's so brilliant with the graphic design.
Very sweet.
And he had a face swap that had his face like that, so we turned it into this poster, and his dream came true. He's a fan now.
I didn't know who it was at first. I was like, like, this kind of looks like the director a little bit, and I was like, she's very pretty. And then I said, who is this? And Olga's like, I'll tell you after you're done. I'm like, okay. And then this is just a great little
Easter egg in there.
Yeah, it was funny though, because when because we were all helping Olga make Sienna's room, but Damien hadn't seen it while we were building it at all. We were like, go away and trust us.
Yeah, don't come see Sienna's room until you step onto set. So
like the first day of filming, like nobody knew about the poster, like yet except the people building it. And so he just walked in, he was looking at it, he's like, oh my God, this looks really cool. And he kind of just kept glancing back at the poster, like there was something familiar about it. And then at one point he just stopped and he was like, oh my God. And that was the rest of the crew, because nobody else knew. So like slowly throughout the day, people were like realizing like more and more that was him.
That is awesome.
It was really fun for us. It was a little fun moment for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think it was Olga. You mentioned that Damien ended up really loving it too.
Yeah.
I want a huge blown up Queen Phoenix poster. I love that it's like, I don't know if that's a piece of official merch yet, but if it was, I would buy like 10 of them.
Oh yeah.
I will keep that in the back of my mind and posted.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted for sure on that.
Thank you. It's cute too, because the Phoenix imagery with Sienna is something I see people talk about a lot, and that was something we talked a little bit with Lauren, if I remember correctly. And I'm seeing people starting to call her Queen Phoenix now, and I just thought that was really cute and kind of ironic.
Lauren is a queen for sure.
She is.
She's amazing. I mean, again, like another one of like just a genuinely incredible human being. Like seriously, the greatest people ever worked on this film. I can't say
yeah,
the best.
It's like we were meant to do
Yes.
it. And before, you had mentioned or asked how we each became involved, and my story is a little interesting because
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I interrupted.
Oh my gosh, stop it! Are you kidding? No, so like I really believe in the universe and the universe bringing things together, even if you're like trying to go a different route. They're like, no, you're meant to go this way. So a FX designer that I worked with in the past, Anthony Giordano, had recommended me to Damien for costume design. And I was in touch with Damien. I received the script, I read it, and I was like, this is incredible, but like this, how you're insane. Like, how are you going to do this on this budget? I'm like, no. I declined the job twice.
Aww.
And it's only because it was just so like ambitious, so incredible. Like I was just like, this is crazy. Like, how are we going to do this? And then the third time's a charm. And then I ended up also being the production designer and stuff. So, and like such a family, such a amazing, amazing family, such a creative dream, such a canvas. And like, we are legitimately family now. So it's like, no, you're taking this opportunity. And it really changed my life in so many ways.
That's really amazing how it just kept following you around until you accepted
like an angry dog. It's so funny.
I heard I think this is another conversation that Olga and I had, and I'm almost positive this is something I heard because I watch a lot of interviews that you guys do, all of the cast and crew, and I think Damien mentioned this too. You guys all ended up wearing a lot more hats than you signed on for, I heard. And when I listened to Damien's commentary today, Olga, he mentioned he went to you about almost everything he ran by you. And I think that's really amazing.
We have become like creative best friends, like best friends in general, but creative best friends, like so much. Our brains are so in sync. Like we also feed off of each other. If he suggests something, I suggest back, and it just becomes this whole thing. Like I can't, it's just such a amazing partnership in creativity that it means so much. And I couldn't do it without these two either. So yeah, it's just like, it would be like me and Damien, but we would expand that circle a little bit with these two and everything, and the actors were all contributed as well. The fun fact too, back to Lauren real quick, Lauren also helped us build rooms because she's that incredible.
Yeah.
Like, on her downtime, she'd be off a day and be like, I'm gonna help paint Jonathan's room.
That's so sweet.
She should have been recovering from wearing all of that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Girl.
She really wanted to help with Sienna's room because she was like, this is me.
Yeah.
She was like, I want to be involved in this. So she was like, I have a video of her doing some weird dance painting like the desk and stuff like that. She had a blast.
That's so cute. I love Lauren. She's such a sweetie.
She's angelic. She's like the best person ever.
Totally.
We're already excited to have her on another time whenever she wants to come back, whenever we have something to talk about.
She's so fun to talk to. Yeah.
She is. Oh, look, there's Princess.
My dog's, you're gonna hear her snore a little bit.
So sweet.
She's so cute. I did hear too. Number one, I just want to say really quick, it's really sweet how you guys describe your relationship with Damien and Olga, how you guys like feed off of each other and then you guys get involved. Because that really reminds me of how Tony and I kind of feed off of each other creatively too, because we do a lot of writing together. And it is really something to have like a creative partner that you like spitball things back and forth with. It's something you just can't do all by yourself. And
something that's like, it's that spark or whatever is like so unique, and I treasure it so much. I treasure the spark I have with Damien, the one I have with Brit, the one I have with Jackie. Like, they're all different and so vital to everything.
And coming on as graphic design is my job outside of this, but working with Olga and Jackie too, like there were things that I created that I never thought I would ever do in my life. And just, different approaches to how I make art, and even just down to like knowing how to create things for a set and how to manage my time. Like it all, you know, again, I'm going to use the word enriched, but my life and my profession has enriched from being around these two and Damien and the crew. And it's a very like encouraging, nurturing environment as well, because everybody is coming in trying to make, like we all came into this, I think, really just excited about making this like the greatest thing ever. You know, it wasn't just like getting a film done. It was like, I can't wait to tell the story. Can't wait. We got to put that in. When they see that, we're going to add that, like, just, you know, that kind of mentality going in, just really important. And I think that's, you know, coming out of this whole experience just feels so good. And I feel like I could take on other things now too. So
that's wonderful.
I'll tell you what, nobody believes me when I tell them the budget that y'all made that movie happen. Nobody. They're all like, no, it was higher than that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
This was, and I will never ever sugarcoat this. This was by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I mean, we killed ourselves making this in every way. So if we weren't filming, we were prepping. And I'm talking like 24 hours a day. And it's not like you're told to or anything. It's because you want it to look that good. You're like, I want this to be perfect, because film is so like, once it's locked on the screen, that's it, you know? It's not like theater that you could try better next time. There is no next time. This is the one time we have to shoot this scene or whatever it is. So I am so blessed to have this. Speaking of hats, she came from a makeup school to do hair and makeup, and we were like attached like Siamese twins, every set together. Like, I am so blessed that she's in my life. Like, she's like a guardian angel.
This was my first movie ever, like first introduction to the industry aside from school.
And you came out with 25 years of experience.
It's like, because like school teaches you like the very like professional way, like how to do things. And then I hopped onto this movie. They broke every single time that I got in school, threw me to the wolves, like, and I came out like an 80-year-old like veteran, where it's like I'll be on other projects and like something will break in front of me, like it'll set on fire, everybody will screaming, and I'm sitting there like,
it's fine.
Nobody's dead.
Like, we'll just get out.
We'll just
like, don't worry about
it. We're just duct tape it. It's fine.
I encounter a problem that was worse than anything we experienced.
Oh yeah, it's like it's so bad. It's like you said, the 80-year-old veterans, like on our porch one day in rocking chairs and talking about the war. You know?
I mean, like, having come from an art school too, it's like they prepare you with all of the rules, and then only when you understand the rules can you break them like professionally. And that's what I find. But I also find that you can read about how to swim, and then the second you get thrown in the ocean, you either swim or you drown. So I really feel that on a less intense scale. I used to do like stage teardowns and setups and when I was in school, and that was, I imagine, nothing compared to doing an entire fucking room for a movie set in one night. Are you kidding me?
And
how did you survive that?
And to have it say so much, sorry to interrupt, Tony, to have it say so much about Sienna, like, again, for, referencing Damien's commentary, she didn't speak or anything during that scene while when we meet her and she's making her costume, and we're like tracking around her room, and we have all these different shots of everything she has in her room, and that has to tell you everything you need to know about her background, because I noticed Damien is a very show don't tell director. He does a lot of visual storytelling, which is why he really needed you guys, and why I think you guys really outdid yourselves, because I think I've seen the movie about 6 times now, and
oh my god,
I've seen it like 8 times.
I have goosebumps.
And we still find new things every single time. Every time we watch this movie, we come away with something new to talk about, and I think that's a real testament to everything that you guys did. I do have to wonder too, I'm just, because there's so much we want to ask you guys about, just with things like wardrobe, and especially Sienna's room and the makeup, how much direction did Damien give you guys on stuff like that, and how much did you decide on your own, or how much did you decide by collaborating and talking with the actors? Like, what was that process like for you three?
I did not really have much experience in that department. I came on a little late into production.
Mhm.
So I got thrown in and I was like, wow, you know, just kind of marveling at everything. But these two take it away.
Well, Sienna is so important to Damien, and he knew every bit of her character and everything. But you know what we do when we're designing is we're just given a script, and for me, I just want to be given a script to let me read it and analyze it the way I see it. Then I want to hear how you see the world and everything and these characters, and then we kind of merge those ideas together. So because she is so important to him, of course, like we did fittings for her wardrobe and everything. And there are those subtleties, like you said, about the you know, art getting into her head, the black and white. Even Elliot's wardrobe has a lot of that.
Oh yeah, it
like
does.
when he's in the scene in the room, like his hoodie is a little open, but there's like a black and white checkered, like, you know, detail like right there. So these are all subtleties that, like you said, might not be caught the first watch, but then you keep watching it and you see this storytelling we try to do through clothes and then the room. And then the room, when I read it, especially that she's into cosplay or costume making, she's obviously creative. She's an artist. So, you know, I'm an artist and I have this like chaotic mess at all times, but it's also like my art, you know? So like, I just saw her desk that way, and the room just being of a cool teenage girl. And one of my favorite references that might be above, like, you know, also aging me in a sense, but when I was growing up, one of the rooms that I was obsessed with from television is on a show called Clarissa Explains It All. And
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart. She played the character. It was on Nickelodeon, but she had this super cool, like DIY, like very artsy room. You could like Google it or anything. She had like her best friend climb up her window and all this stuff. So I just thought it would be fun if, you know, if this character isn't very wealthy or anything, but tries to create her own sanctuary and world. What would it look like, you know?
As someone, if I can get a little personal, as someone who has a lot of anxiety and who spends a lot of time in my room because I'm very introverted and sometimes I just want to be left alone. We both kind of got that sense from Sienna that she tries very hard to make herself as comfortable as possible in her space. So that completely came across. And I remember looking at her room and I'm thinking like, God, I would love to be in here. This feels like a place that I, as someone who is very anxious and very creative and very introverted like Sienna, that this is exactly the kind of space that I would want to be in. So that totally came across. And it really came across too that she did all of that by herself. She was the one who put all of the work into it. That really showed.
Yeah, it looked very DIY. It looked very like, I can imagine this person sitting here and putting up her own wallpaper and everything. And I just I think that it told us everything about her establishing in. You guys are so great.
Thank you so much. And, like, that really means so much. I really wanted like people to want to be in that bedroom or want that to be their bedroom. So that really means a lot. And that you see all the little details, like truly, like I'm gonna tear up a little bit.
Oh God.
Yeah, we did all want to be in the room. It was like everybody walked in, like first time seeing it, everybody was amazed. We're like, oh my God, we love this and this. People were like, can I have this when we're done filming? And it was like, no, you can't. We just couldn't be in there that long because it was absolutely freezing cold. If it wasn't like Lauren wanted to like sleep in there, like she wanted that to be the room she stayed in, like. But
it was so cold though, because that is a set in a barn.
Oh no.
So but in
January.
Also, like, yeah, one of the saddest days for me was breaking down that set.
Oh no!
Because to create worlds is a dream, but there is a bit of a heartbreak when you have to tear them down. Also,
oh, that would have been. I'm very sentimental, so that would have been really hard for me. I imagine you guys probably took a lot of pictures of the room before it had to go.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a bunch of.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but it was like because it was weird the way the set was built. Sienna's room and Allie's room were right next to each other.
Mhm.
Wow.
That wall had to get moved so that the wings could get set on fire, so it was on tracks. So Sienna's room and Allie's room actually share that wall.
Wow, I didn't know that.
When we were done filming in Sienna's room, it literally had to shift over
Be
and then
repainted.
get repainted, which was a whole other horror movie in itself. But we literally had to
Yellow paint.
destroy Sienna's room in order to create Allie's.
Oh,
I'm
and then she referenced the yellow paint.
The yellow paint from home.
There's so many things that went wrong in the building of those rooms.
oh no.
Yes.
Like, it is so ice cold in there, even with like a furnace and stuff, because it's such a large space. Like, you know, we're wearing snowsuits and stuff building things, but on top of that, like, imagine like you have like 48 hours to build this set, and then like you're putting up wallpaper and it just starts peeling gum because the glue won't stick
Yeah.
because it's so cold. And
Oh my
paint won't
God.
dry because it's so cold and all this stuff. So we're just like, you know, looking at each other like, how are we gonna do this?
You guys are so, I'm sorry, Tony, I'm just gonna say really quick, you guys are so tough. I am a sensitive person. I get easily frustrated, and I will own that. I would have been crying trying to do all of
We all
this.
cried.
We all
There were
cried.
tears. Okay.
Blood, sweat, tears, and then like back again, blood, sweat, tears.
What was the absolute best day on set, and then what was the absolute worst, just for everybody? Because I need to ask that. Make you relive some trauma.
Yeah, let's talk about why I can't sleep at night.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
I wouldn't say, just as one of the most frustrating days, day one of filming was very frustrating for me and
Uh-oh.
Olga, because so day one of filming was when Sienna is looking for Jonathan in the amusement park.
Like walking through the abandoned amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was day one. So that ended with Kaylee. She played Brooke
Yeah.
when she was running after getting pulled out of the car. Now, day one, we don't know Damien that well. We don't know how to read him. And he basically just comes to us because I was only doing beauty, hair, and makeup, but he comes to me,
Yeah.
you have experience in effects. And I said, yes. He was like, I need her to look. His words were completely fucked up.
Wow.
Like, and I looked at him because she wasn't there. I looked at him, I was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, she just got pulled out of a car and dragged and went through all this. And I was like, so what do you mean by that? And he was like her leg got sliced, she got dragged on the ground, like all of this. And he was like, I want her completely like messed up. So I'm like, this is what he wants. And she was like, okay, you're sure? I was like, I asked him like 6 times. But we like mascara running all down her face. Her hair is shredded up. Like we shred the costume.
We have 2 copies of the costume. We shred one because she asked, destroy the costume? Yes, destroy it.
Like,
So
I could have
Man.
been more specific with this man, right?
I would have done the same thing.
We bring Kaylee back to set and he looks at her, he's like, what did you do?
Oh
We were like, what are you talking
and like I turn white, purple because I'm like, this is the first day on set with this director, and I don't. So he told me to destroy the costume, so we did.
Every scene of Kaylee running through where her back is to camera is of that moment because we did too much.
no. Oh no.
And we lost a costume for the rest of the shoot. Like that.
I had no idea that.
Day one.
Oh,
There is something about communication and like what one word like destroy means to one person and then another, you know, so it's like working out those kinks and figuring each other out too.
Yeah, we never believed him after that.
Oh my god. I would have done the same thing. Oh, sorry, Brett. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought I saw your mouth moving. I was like, oh no.
Okay.
I was just saying I would have done the same thing. Like the way you described it, Jackie, I am a very detail-oriented person. I need to know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. And I would have said, are you sure you want me to destroy it? So like, I don't know. I think things like that just happen.
As somebody from a similar part of the United States that he's from, make him do it next time. Just make make him do it. Just be like, you show me what you want me to do.
Yeah. No, and I was so specific with the questions I was asking because another thing, I never got a script for this movie.
Oh, that's another interesting fact.
Because Damien didn't want too many people to have the script in case spoilers came out.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason. So I had no idea the context of Brooke running through and like why she was. So I was asking details of like exactly what happened to her that made her get to the way she was.
Mm-hmm.
And
so yeah, I had a script. Jackie did not.
Oh, that must have been confusing.
Most of the crew probably didn't have a script. So that's even more interesting because of the tight-lipped nature of everything.
Yeah.
Which also it makes it more difficult too, to create in a group when everybody doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're trying to make collaborative artwork and everybody just has a single little piece that they're running with, I mean, that can't be easy. It's like playing fucking telephone, trying to figure out what's going on.
Who doesn't love challenges though?
It made such a cohesive end product. I don't even think anybody would have suspected that there was so much like chaos and confusion, but it turned out fucking great. So I think his method, there's a method to his madness.
Definitely,
sure.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
we're not gonna let him do that again.
No.
But it was
He's
okay.
so calm and like just unfazed on set too. Like just very quiet, and but then, it's just like this very like still person with all of this madness going on around him and, him choreographing it like silently in a way. It's pretty great.
Yeah, he's not very talkative on set, but he like
very focused.
We're focused. He's wearing many hats, director,
Yes.
special effects, and very on hands with all the aesthetics and creativity and stuff like that.
He really is
So
involved with he loves what he's doing. He really, really does. And I think that's pretty evident in it was like this, this is a project coming from someone who loves the story he has. He wants to tell it the way, he sees it in his head. Like it's not just I'm gonna make a horror movie. It's like, no, this is this universe I created and I'm throwing my entire self into it. And he does. He throws his entire being into it and did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah.
And that's even fueling for us because he is so hardworking.
Yes.
So
yes, it makes us feel very, it just like you said, like noticing like the details and everything. I would argue nearly everything in the movie that you might notice, when it comes to set and costume is so deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like here's this thing that fits in the room, we're going to just put this. It's like every little thing is so deliberately there. It has a reason to be there. And he, one of the other things that I had done for the film were the newspaper articles that popped up on the screen, and we talked about like it wasn't just can you make some fake articles with it was here's the article that I would like next to this. You're not really going to be able to read it, but let's do like a fake story about this just in case somebody looks over and they want to see what else is on the same page that he's reading. Like very detailed. Like you want to feel like this universe exists.
Yes.
And that was, and again, as somebody who was contributing artwork to that was exciting for me because it felt like there was a lot more heart to what I was giving over to the project too.
We did stop and read the newspaper.
Yeah, we did. I'm glad you guys are bringing this stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm not a writer, so I was like, there were certain times that I'm like, would somebody believe that an actual journalist is writing this? I don't know. I'm going to try my best, you
did a phenomenal job.
Using my.
It was pretty legit.
I'm very glad because I was nervous about that a little bit too. Like somebody's going to put a typo in there.
Wait, you know what I want to go back to?
What's that?
Saying our favorite and worst times.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. No,
who cares? I will sing Damien's praises all the time. But in regards to you, I don't know if they noticed this, but Clown Cafe was like a few days, but that was a dream creative thing, not only the room and all that, and the costumes. But did you know that Brit is one of the people that are killed in that scene?
I think I saw you die. That's
Wait.
really horrible out of context. I'm sorry. I think I saw you die, but I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I saw you like get shot by Art or something.
No, I'm the airline stewardess.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have been staring at you like a weirdo this entire time, trying to remember what I knew you.
Yes, that was me. That was me. And oh my gosh, the magic that these two pulled, that was such a hard death because we had one shot, no pun intended, to do that. And Jackie had given me like this bun, but it had to be set up in a certain way that a tube could be fitted under my costume through my hair and come out the top. So there was a tube there, but you can't see it because magic. And I have this one chance to get shot before our other friend Francesco, who is a darling, was behind us, like blowing into this.
We love him.
Oh, he's the best.
The best.
He's so cool.
Such a nice guy.
To this tube at the right moment, so blood shoots out of my head, and I have to, do this all at once. But we made it work.
And that is the first time we like met Brit in person. Like that's a fun story you could tell too. Like ever since my cousin put us together, we had been talking like, a while, but we had never met in person because I'm out in upstate New York filming and everything.
Of course.
Poor Jackie.
Yeah, but I was told, oh, I know this girl Brit, and she's gonna be coming up and staying with us because Olga and I were sharing a room, so we like squeezed in an air mattress that didn't fit in the room, but kind of fit in the room for Brit to come in. So I was up there prepping something. Olga wasn't there yet, and Brit got there that night. And I just remember someone walked past Brit and looked at me and was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "I have no idea. I'm busy." And then I come back and she's in my room.
I'm like, come on, and it's like dark, and it's on Olga's bed, like with my
Past
bags,
midnight.
and I'm like, "You must be Jackie," and she's like, "Hey," and then
Nice to meet you.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, no, you're Brit, cool. So then I'm so tired. Like we turn off the lights, laying like in bed, and my eyes are closed. And then I just hear we're like talking, and then we're about to fall asleep. And she just goes, I'm so excited to meet Olga tomorrow. And I was just laying in this bed, and my eyes just went, who is this person in my room?
nobody's met me. So
No, and I was texting Olga. I was like, why did you do this to me? I was like, I could be killed in my sleep right now.
There's a woman I don't know in here, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
My cousin would never recommend somebody who's like a psychopath of anything.
No,
Man,
but I was
it was a trip.
so tired from working. I was like, if I die, whatever.
Good. And now we're like besties.
It all worked out. Everyone survived that first night with me.
Yeah, and then like in 3 days of knowing her, we killed her. I have behind the scenes pictures of that whole blood bag
It's amazing.
placement and
Really
everything.
So
too.
I love stuff like that.
That
Yeah,
is
but-
so funny. I have so much I want to say, but first off, like Jackie, I just have to say, like, the way you and I react to certain things is so similar. It's ridiculous. I would have done the same thing. I would have grabbed my phone too and texted my friend, like, what's going on? Oh my
I think the exact text was, "You haven't met Brit."
I think I'm in danger.
I could have been, but we were prepping the Clown Cafe. I think we had to film the next day. Like I was painting the most obscure things on that set. Like I was painting there and then bringing it back and painting it like before
So
going to
much
bed.
work.
I was so tired. I was
Yeah.
like, you put me out of my misery right now.
And I'm like, trying to put all the costumes together as well as the set in collaboration with so many of the crew. And our crew was very, very small, honestly, like very small. I think
Yeah.
at its core is like 9 people or something.
Wow. Oh my god.
And, extended help once in a while, but it really, because of also the secrecy of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It really didn't have a lot of hands on deck to help, which was a lot, but also very fulfilling when you see it on screen. For sure.
I knew it was a small crew. I did not know it was only 9 people. Oh my god. That
One
is
guy doing lighting, one guy, costume, production design, hair, makeup, and literally everything. Graphic design, actress.
And then that I think you guys were both not feeling well, but when we did the reshoot for the final scene in the hospital, I came in that day kind of, I texted Olga because you were not well, and I was like, what do I bring? Because Damien had asked, he's like, hey, do you know how to can you steam things? Can you steam wardrobe? Like, would you be able to do this? And he's like, do you know how to make like raggedy hair? And I'm like, from scratch? I'm like, no. And he's like, no. If you have like any like product, and I'm like, Jackie, what do I do? And so and then I ended up making like the fake vomit in that last scene.
Yummy.
A whole bunch of like random things that I was doing on that one reshoot day. But again, I think it's just a testament to everybody. Like, it's not a problem. It was just like, what do you need me to do? Because this is, it's work, but it's fun, and we're just all trying to like make this the absolute best that we can make it. So
part of the reason I'm able to go back to this movie so many times, and maybe Tony can chime in here too if he wants. It's like candy for my eyeballs. That's part of it, which sounds really funny with all the gore in the movie and stuff.
It means so
great.
much.
Yeah.
Like,
Delicious.
amazing, delicious. I love it.
His idea was the clown mural. I'm so sorry. This is getting off topic.
that is definitely, I think, Damien. There was
It's so cute.
It is cute.
It is adorable, right?
It's very
So
cute.
cute.
It's sweet.
But I think that this movie is like I really do think it's a testament to like everything that I loved about old 80s slashers. I mean, my room right now, I can't even see all of it. I am such a freak about like special effects gore and stuff like that, because I think that candy red stuff is like part of the appeal. I think that pops just as much as the purple lights and everything. So I don't know, man. I could sing its praises all day, but that's.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I like this movie. We're all here. Is there?
That's very different for horror too, to just have so much like. It's like a pretty horror movie too.
Yeah.
There are pretty elements to it,
Absolutely. It's not minimalist by any stretch.
No.
Stereotype. And Jackie's a very talented effects artist as well.
Yes, extremely.
There are so many like different things I want to ask you, and I feel like I'm going to sound insane because I've seen this movie so many times, and I think about so many weird details that I know other people aren't probably thinking about. I'm actually going to ask Brit first really quick, because this has been like on my mind the entire time, because you mentioned these newspaper articles. There's this one, and I don't want to get you guys in trouble because I know Terrifier 3 is on the horizon and things are going to be revealed and stuff. But there's a specific detail in the article about that little girl, Emily, the little pale girl. And it mentions how she comes from a family of like circus performers or something. Brit, was that something that you came up with yourself, or was that Damien who specifically told you what to include there?
There was a little bit of both in there. But I have to be honest with you. It was never, none of the content, and I think this has to do, this is him protecting what he knows for the future too, is nothing was ever presented as this is a significant detail moving forward. But it fits the content of the article. Whether or not that information is going to carry over, if it's part of the lore, I couldn't tell you, or if it just happened to be, just a matter of fact in what I created at the time. So I don't know. Damien has everything under lock and key. Even
honestly, we don't know many details about Terrifier 3. A little bit, but not anything really. So.
No, and I don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Oh, no, there's no trouble to be,
Nope,
we don't know anything.
I don't know.
I don't know a darn thing.
It doesn't hurt to notice details. I'll say that much.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brett. I feel like I keep cutting you off. I'm so sorry.
No, I can't.
We're just
stop
like,
rambling.
excited and all shouting at the same
I
time. I love
I
this.
could literally do this for like 5 hours.
Me too.
Oh, you guys are so.
We love
I'm
guys.
a chatterbox, so I really appreciate it, and I don't want to take up entire day, I'm like mentally checking off things. I'm like, if I don't ask them right now, it's going to bother me.
Oh no,
Oh,
seriously,
we'd love
take
to
your
talk to
time.
you.
We have nothing going on.
We would literally be doing
Like-
this whether you guys are here or not.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh, I really
We love
appreciate
it.
that. Something that this is something that Tony and I talk about because we really did like these characters. We thought they were very effective side characters. We talk quite a bit about Brooke and Allie as well, and I was just curious what you guys thought of those three, like Olga reading the script and like Jackie like doing hair and makeup. Like what are some things you guys like got from those characters? Like what were some things you were trying to convey about Sienna's threat friends through like their wardrobe and Allie's room and their makeup? Like I'm so curious because I feel like Casey is understandably praised for that really difficult death scene that she had to do. But I kind of feel like there's some of the unsung like heroes of that movie because it's important that Sienna has people in her life that you remember and like you feel something when they die. I kind of feel like they get overlooked a little bit. So I've been thinking about them. I'm really curious about what you guys have to say about those two.
first of all, shout out to Casey and Kaylee. They are, I can't even describe how incredible they are. Incredibly talented, but just incredible human
Love them
beings
to
too.
death.
Yep.
Love it. And
Right.
So
they're
lovely.
so strong, and like the scenes that they filmed were so difficult. And they just did it with such professionalism and just like never complained. And Lauren either never complained about anything. And they have 100 million things they could complain about. So they're just incredible. So I'll start off with that. For me, when I was reading the script, I don't know why I saw it this way. Damien could disagree, but I sensed that Sienna was kind of in between, like, you know how you sometimes have like devil angel on the shoulders kind of thing?
Yeah.
And every friend group, a good friend group has that kind of dynamic or anything. So
Yes.
Casey or, Allie in the script is also like kind of the quieter one. So in my mind, I go like simpler, simpler room, simpler clothing, simpler, whereas Kaylee's character was so much more, Brooke was so much more vivacious and like, kind of devilish and, naughty one. So it's just, that all pertained, that was all in the wardrobe and everything. And I kind of wanted Brooke to be like, that's like such a bad girl, but I kind of love her and I kind of want to hang out with her at the same time. So, and then, poor Allie. Allie was going to be such a dope witch at the party, but she didn't have a chance. But she was also like such a sweet friend to both of them were in their own ways. But I just love those characters too. And
They're great characters.
Yeah, like Brooke's death scene too, so hard. And so she's such an incredible actress as well. Like,
yeah, she gave Art a run for his money for a second too. There was a second she managed to knock him down, and I really loved that scene too because you see kind of the party girl in horror movies like this, and she just she does scream and run away, but she puts up a decent fight for a minute, and I thought that was such a nice way of kind of subverting people's expectations about her. Like, oh, she's not Sienna, but she can handle herself to some extent, and I really liked that. And Olga, I feel like, because again, Tony and I talk about these things all the time. Tony actually said something similar not long ago, that he kind of feels like Sienna's sort of stuck in the middle between a devil and an angel, and it might cause her some stress. That it's very subtle, but we noticed. So you're not the only one who picked up on that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like a relatable teenage dynamic too. You have like the friends that are, more cookie cutter or like more, do the right thing. And some are like, no, let's go to underage drink at a bar.
Like,
and do Molly and do all these other things, Yeah, it was just a fun canvas to be storytelling through, and, hair and makeup.
Yeah. No, because it's, like with what she said about like how Allie's character is, like a little simpler. So she only really got beauty looks, but with Brooke's Halloween pirate costume, that was
That hair.
Yeah, hair's
that hair.
Oh no.
That was basically like for her and Sienna's hair. It was kind of just like I came in to do makeup and hair tests, and Damien had ideas of what he wanted, and then Olga was inputting ideas like based off like the costumes that she had like the pirate costume she had got Kaylee, and it was basically like, here are ideas, what are you capable of doing? And Brooke's hair just kept getting taller and taller and taller.
I'm a more is more person.
Yeah, but no, Brooke's hair was the craziest, because I had a couple of friends like come in. Like I had a friend from school, her name's Rachel, and then a friend I met through this, her name is Brianna. Like they would come in and help me with looks, because Brooke's hair alone, I think, took an hour and a half, something like that. Just hair. And Sienna's took an hour. So if they were both on set, I couldn't do them both. So I would have everybody come in, and I was like, you take Sienna. I don't care that she's the main character and I should be probably focusing on her. Nobody else recreate Brooke's hair. And I haven't seen anybody recreate Brooke's hair yet.
No.
And I want to see people do it and then tell me how they did it way easier than I did.
Yeah, it's I looked at her hair. It's so funny because she has that line where she asks Josh, "Oh, do you like my hair?" And I'm like, did they put that in there to
No.
use Jackie after all of her?
That was in the script. So that's why when we were doing the hair and makeup test with Jackie, I was like, more, because for him to comment on it, it has to be something like unique, like something so outrageous. And so I just was like, more Jackie, more.
It was a lot. And then it actually got to a point where in the makeup test, I was like, this is going to be impossible to recreate on a daily basis. So because there's 4, I called them the hair knots. Like 4 knots going down. Those are all clip-ins. So
I was wondering.
Got extensions for her, tied them together. I think I hot glued them together.
Oh, God.
They wouldn't move. And then every day it was just teasing the life out of Kaylee's hair and then clipping it in and then hiding everything. And so that's why actually when she runs into the bathroom in the Terrifier where she gets killed, when she falls, one of the knots falls out because one of the clips was broken, and I could not for the life of me keep it in her hair. And we shot that like 6 times and it just kept falling out. I just looked at Damien, I was like, I don't know. He was like, leave it in.
And then David stepped on it. They made it a play in the movie, which I didn't know that was unscripted. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that was all my mistake. I was getting very mad.
But that's a happy mistake, because I like that he steps on.
Yeah. But it makes sense. And then even because like hearing people in the theaters like kind of cringe at that, because it was like, oh my God, he ripped her hair out. Like when he pulled her out of the car.
Snatched
Yeah.
her.
Feel it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I'll take it.
There was a lot of, sorry.
I was going to say Sienna's with all that braiding and then like all the clipping in each of those jewels. That took a lot.
Yeah, that was
sorry, Jackie.
Olga was like, here's all this jewelry that you need pliers to apply to your hair.
But don't forget Clown Cafe hair.
Oh yeah, yes.
She forgot. I'm sorry.
I was like, have you ever heard of Pippi Longstocking? And, like, I really want her braids to go like this, and she's like, no, and then Googles it, and she just shoots me along. And everybody else's hair and makeup.
Yeah, no, that was probably one of the most typical hairstyles, just because like with Brooke's hair, I came in like 2-3 weeks before shooting and like did tests and all that, and then had the clips and everything. For the Clown Cafe hair, Olga wanted that hairstyle, and then Damien wanted a different one. And so I had no prep for it. So at 9 a.m. call time, I walk into the room and I look at Damien. I'm like, what are we doing for her hair? And he was like, you're going to do this.
Ooh.
And then Lauren walked in the room and was like, okay, I'm ready. And I looked at her. I was like, go get breakfast. I was like, I have to prep this somehow. Like 15 minutes of like wiring like a contraption and stuffing like tissue paper like under it so it didn't dig into her scalp. Like it was
You're welcome, Jackie.
It was crazy.
But it looks so cool. Like,
Yeah.
It did look cool.
We
I
had this like oh
Favorite
sorry.
hairstyle, so
Yeah.
I'll take that. But yeah, no, that took me like I had 15 minutes to prep that one. So
No, I don't know. I was like, what would be the most like crazy hairstylist she could have going from bed to this and like waking up in this child show like thing? And I was like, Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I really wanted her socks in that scene. I thought that the entire fit was honestly pretty sick.
Yeah.
I feel like if you,
where I got them, I'm not really sure.
it,
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
that has to be next to the actual armor, probably the hardest look of Sienna's to recreate, because I can imagine like a home, like an amateur makeup artist and hairstylist trying to do the wire cranium contraption. I would pass out. I would cry.
We did.
I would love to cosplay Sienna at one point, and I look at all the detail, and I'm so glad I'm on a talking basis for you guys. I feel like I'm gonna have to go to you guys for help if that's something that I ever do, because I look at the braids in her hair and I'm like, oh my god, and she's doing it with pliers. I'm like, how am I ever going to recreate something like that? That looked very challenging.
You can only imagine how we felt going in every day, being like, how are we going to do this? How are we gonna
Oh my god.
How are we going to, but we did it. And you can do it too.
Aw, I really appreciate that. Sweet. Damien described them as like Viking braids. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he was talking about how that was something you guys decided on, and I think I read somewhere, and I don't know if this is true, that Lauren also had a say in Sienna's like look and like how she was going to wear her hair and her makeup. What was it like just deciding what the hell her hair was going to look like and how that was going to like match the Valkyrie costume?
that was another thing of going in for the makeup testing, and like because before going into it, I asked for reference pictures, and he basically said some sort of like Viking Valkyrie type look. So I got there, and he was like, I know I want some sort of gold stuff, like stripes over her eye, like some sort of braiding thing. So then it was, I think we tried doing like braids down both sides, and then have like a braid down the middle. We did almost like she dipped her fingers in the paint and spread them like up this way.
Oh, that's cool.
She got 2 days of hair and makeup testing, because after the first one, we were like, we know what we don't want, but we don't know what we do want yet. And then the second day, we kind of finally locked it in. But it was like Damien saying, these are ideas, and then seeing what was in like my skill set of what I could accomplish. But
I also had pulled up a lot of reference photos, and I actually used to wear my hair like that for a while.
Nice.
On one side like that, not all the way, but just like here. And I was just thinking about that, but tying in the kind of Viking thing, but also, she's in this costume, so how would she turn it up for a costume, which would be all these little trinkets. Sorry, sound person. But
but even like we went with the one side of braids because she has asymmetry in her in her
Nice, yeah, like Art does, and like the little pale girl.
So it was like, well, because we had braids going down both sides, and we were like, it doesn't look right with like an asymmetrical costume. Like if it was all symmetrical, sure, but then we were like, what if we just do one side?
Yeah, so the shoulders on one side, the braids are on the other, the balance of the arm paint, and then this,
I couldn't figure out.
Each of us had a really fun collaborative process. Probably not fun in the moment, but no, but I love that back and forth. It's like the creative kitchen of film,
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I couldn't figure out what it was about her look that was so satisfying to me, and that's exactly what it is. It's the asymmetry. I'm like, that works. That's so cool. I couldn't identify it, so I'm so happy that I know what that is now. And actually, speaking of art and David, I was just wondering like how much I know that was sort of Damien's forte, like getting him ready. I was just wondering like how much time you guys spent like helping him with his looks and with his costume and anything like that. And if you had to design like arts workshop for that one scene, or if you just got to walk onto a set or something like that.
I think we all kind of contributed junk to it, like, you know. Actually, Phil Falcone, who works with Damien a lot, is the executive producer. He helped prep that whole facade of that scene, and he is so incredibly hardworking as well. So, yeah, pretty much, unless it was like a store or something, pretty much every place we had to set up. In terms of his costume and everything, Damien, of course, does the special effects makeup sometimes with Jackie's assistants and things like that, but that takes about 3 hours, I would say.
Yeah, when he
just the makeup.
Yeah, when for the face prosthetic, when he does it on his own, it's 3 hours. I think I got to apply it once.
Nice.
That was my thing. And it was actually in Ali's death scene. So
it's really cool.
There was one day of that I think is really cool. But I think one time, the quickest we were able to do it when I hopped in to help him, I think we got it down to an hour and a half.
Nice.
Like once.
And there's also a huge process of removing all that too, that Jackie helped with that too. But yeah, like, I mean, the costume isn't that bad to help him into, obviously, but you know.
You had to put the pom-poms back on a couple
times.
Those
things
kept
fall
falling
off or
off.
anything.
Or they just explode and unravel. And they were sitting there with yarn. Like,
oh no.
More pom-poms, you know. Or you know, like that little hat kept falling off. I literally put duct tape and smack it on his head. And
God.
The whole film is hot glued, duct taped together. Because things, you know, there's so many variables in film. So many things could go wrong. Unimaginable things go wrong. So that's why, like, you just really have to figure out things in the moment, and you just have to expect the unexpected. I don't know.
I just want to mention one more costume that I was like sort of a witness to, was literally the night before you making Leah's costume for Clown Cafe. You made that jump.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, she looked great.
And made that whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember.
We had to make two, one for the stunt double that goes on fire.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was such a labor of love. Like, my mom even helped me. Like, it was like night before. And not only do I have to do the host costume, but all the children's costumes, all, you know, everybody's costume. So, which is why I wasn't there the night they had met.
When Brit tried to kill me.
But thank you. And then that Damien had drawn up like what he wants that character to look like, and I literally created verbatim like what that costume was, like his exact costume that he drew, you know. So
that's so cool.
Because he had like literally just a full body drawing, so like makeup too, like all of that was just paper to face of his design.
And Leah's an incredible actress, by the way, incredible singer. And did you know that she is the nurse in the end scene as well?
Yeah, we're so curious. Sorry, Tony, were you going to ask something?
No, I'm probably going to ask the exact same thing you were about to ask, which is like, so just go ahead.
What's going on? Yeah, do you guys like, what do you guys think is going on like with her character? Because Tony actually noticed before I did. He was like, is that the singer from the Clown Cafe? And I looked at her and I was like, maybe. And then the credits rolled and it was her. And we're just like,
but I always assumed it was one of those things where like the significance is like, it might be there, but we don't know.
Yeah, like we have so many interpretations because she's a nurse at this mental institution. So we're like, is she someone Sienna saw when she was there? Was Art maybe there at one point and he was remembering her? Like, it was really interesting.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Because again, we know nothing about the third one, but that is like the thing of like the human brain can't create a new face.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool if she saw her like at the asylum or something at some point, because it was a dream.
I think also there's no wrong answers, and I think like everything's up for interpretation, right? So you first are introduced to her as the Clown Cafe host in a dream or a supposed dream, or like, you know, is a dream just a dream or is it something else? And then,
Premonition.
then you see her humming this song
Mhm.
at the hospital.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I love leaving a movie, no matter what it is, with questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know, like, I don't want to know everything. I want to process things for myself and what
Same.
I felt in that moment, or, what I love about it is that there is no wrong answer to that.
And it's, I think Terrifier, it's a fine line between like suspending your disbelief and not, because there are obviously elements of, supernatural in this film, but not so much to turn it into a fantasy. It still feels like, you still have that frightening aspect of it where it's like, this could happen to somebody. Like somebody could be running around doing this kind of stuff. And then you have these moments where there's like, this like taste of something outside of the realm that we know. So, who knows if like the whole clown cafe thing had more like of a supernatural element to it. And, we see it later on. It's just, it is, like you said, up to interpretation, which is really cool.
And I'm surprised when I hear comments about how the clown cafe scene is maybe like too much, or it's like not necessary or something. And it's actually very deliberate and very necessary. There's so much symbolism in that scene. And it is so, I think, one of the most important parts of the script that really is a turning point, personally.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people just when they approach this movie, and it's unfortunate because clearly so much went into like subtext and everything, and interpretation, maybe just drawing from it. And it's a real shame to me because I feel like people enter this movie and they don't want to analyze it as something deeper than it is, and they don't want to see the symbolism, and they don't want to, because it's supposed to be just a goofy little slasher film, and that's what a lot of people expect. And so I see a lot of people sort of either deliberately misunderstanding, or maybe not so deliberately, but misunderstanding that dream was not just a dream, and it was a plot significant thing that was meant to forward the narrative and characterize this person's journey. Like, this was literally us moving into a new act of who this person is. And the same thing with the scene in the shower, it's a sort of baptism of water and fire thing that's going on there. But I feel like people don't want to approach it because it's not supposed to be that deep, and it is that deep. It's supposed to be there.
And this is something I have a lot of conversations about, but I think what is happening a lot in our society in general is that, we are all conditioned by social media and things to be presented something and like or dislike it in 2 seconds, but besides that has caused a generation of surface level thinking where everything has to be explained. And one of the best parts of any art form is to really delve into the symbolism of things, the deeper meaning of things. And I mean, everybody's different. And now we can just Google things and know answers. But what a gift to actually work your brain and really try to figure out what's trying to be said here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's I don't want to sound like I'm dissing people for, viewing films the way they do, but it's just, I think it's important to be, I know a lot of people were upset that there was unended questions or plot points, but that's why the door is open for more storytelling. You know what I mean? So
they wanted to be spoon-fed something, I think, and it's just, I don't know. It's disappointing because it's such a rich narrative and with such rich characters. And I think that sort of electing to ignore that because you wanted it to be handed to you is a sort of lazy way of approaching media. But that's me. That's me being somebody who thinks too hard about things. I can't tell somebody not to be a casual viewer. I just wish they wouldn't say things like, "Oh, that scene shouldn't have been in there because I don't understand it." Okay, dude. I guess you're the center of the universe.
Or I hate that character, and I'm like, you're meant to hate that character.
Yes, thank you.
People are so rude about Barb and Brooke and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they're
your favorite.
I love Barb. Barb and Brooke. What mom wouldn't be stressed out in that situation?
Yeah. Who is everybody's favorite? Who is everybody's favorite character? This was one of my last questions. I think it might be my last question that I need to ask. Who's everyone's favorite? Because mine's Sienna. I love her.
Yeah. Mine is Art, unfortunately.
Aw.
That's tough.
Love it.
Honestly, I love Art and Sienna, but I'm gonna say outside of those two, I actually really did love Barb in this movie because I felt for her. And I think once I heard all of the people getting really upset with her, I like took a very defensive stance. I'm like, what the heck would you do if this is going on in your house? Like if I got a call from a school that my, son had throwing like a bloody possum around, I don't know what would have happened in my household, And so, I don't know. I really did love her. I think Sarah is an amazing actor. So sweet.
Very funny.
She was hilarious.
And Jonathan too. Elliot's a
Ah,
incredible actor.
Incredibly talented. Yeah.
He
It's
took
hard.
that smack.
Oh my gosh.
I can't-
He's
I
he's
can't pick a
talented to me.
favorite.
I know, it's very tough.
They're all a different canvas. They're all the actors themselves bring so much to the character.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you have a favorite? I can't say I have a favorite. I don't even have like a favorite band.
It's an unfair question, but
Yeah.
there's always more than one answer. I think they
Yeah.
all have value,
they
all-
do.
I do love Art as well. And for me, as I'm just going to do a little throwback to the time I first watched the original Terrifier. I'm not I love horror movies, but gore is not my preferred,
Same.
subgenre. So a friend had recommended it to me. She's like, it's very gory, but I just feel like you're going to get that something out of it that I did. And I did. And I was like, I freaking love this. And I love this character so much. And Dave is just so he just knows how to perform so well without his mannerisms are just, it's just so impressive watching him. So I really do enjoy watching just the little gestures he makes. It's just so much fun.
He's a masterful mime. Masterful. Like his
So
facial
great.
expression and
Oh, yeah.
all
Yes.
that is insane. Like to
Yeah.
see it in real time is absolutely
Yes.
amazing.
For it to translate
It's
through a prosthetic that's not even specifically made for his face.
Yeah.
I think that's very impressive.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing that just makes, I think I don't want to say franchise, the film's so special is that it's you have the perfect person to play this character. He just blows it out of the water.
And what
Yeah.
serendipity that must be for Damien.
I know. It's
To doodle this character
Yes.
one day and to create it for
Yes.
15 years and bring it to life and to meet David, who brings it to life
I
in a
know.
way that's
So true.
unimaginable.
And
So
Lauren is just she just is an incredible actor, just absolutely incredible, so talented, really just felt like everything was taken up so many levels performing in this film too. Everybody just did an amazing job.
yeah, and just witnessing her process, asking Damien so many questions about her background, so she really just understood Sienna throughout.
Mhm.
It was very important to her to really, really delve into the character, and it just witnessing all that was such a gift, honestly.
Yes, absolutely.
We're always quietly listening and watching, and it's
Yeah.
just oh my gosh,
Just watching the masters at work for sure.
David and Lauren are such phenomenal actors. We when we reviewed the movie back in, I think it was the beginning of October. So we were lucky enough to have watched a screener, and then we were allowed to talk about it after a certain point. I think literally the day before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And they are both such powerhouses. I really hope they get more recognition for their performances in this movie. Give them Saturn Awards or something, because they worked their asses off, and I'm so invested in these two characters. I'm so excited for what's going to happen to them. I'm very invested in Sienna's journey, and there are so many directions she can go. We spend so much time talking about things we're interested to see potentially happen to her. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen to Art too. I think something a lot of people forget, yeah, he's a bad dude, he's horrible, he's evil, but he is going on his own journey. And there are so many directions he can potentially go. What's going to happen with him and the little pale girl? Are they going to have a falling out? Is he going to strike out on his own? Are we going to see his mind maybe degrade more as time goes on? Because he's clearly not well. I'm very, very excited. And
Oh no, I
I'm
think
so
he's
excited.
mentally doing fine. I think that's the behavior of somebody who's perfectly normal.
At the moment, he's just ahead. So.
He is just ahead right now. That's a good point.
He's going through some stuff.
I can't wait to see how he gets himself out of that. And I'm very
Well, he already got himself out of Victoria, so he's halfway there.
Oh my gosh. What a trip.
I think that about covers that. Like we're just very excited to see what David and Lauren bring to the table in the future. But just going back to you guys, I think I have there might be other things that might cross my mind later, and I might bother Olga about it.
You're welcome. Yeah, we're happy to talk anytime. This really it is so nice to sit down and talk about everything we saw and did.
No, there's
there's
so many stories.
So many.
I guess for now, I really appreciate that invitation, because I am very inquisitive about a lot of different things, and I'm sure I'm going to think of something at like 3 a.m. I'm going to be like, why didn't I ask them that? But for where it stands right now, my final 2 questions for you guys are: do you have any projects you're excited about that you're allowed to talk about right now? And I keep getting their names mixed up. If Damien invited you guys back for Terrifier 3, would you go for it?
Okay, so Jackie, actually the 3 of us are working on a film right now called The Tannery. It is in reshoots right now. We're on like the 3rd round of shooting. It is, all I can really share about it is that it's horror leaning. It is set in a 1920s leather factory in Hoboken. And basically, what can we share about it?
She's set designing it, and I'm doing the special effects of it.
Doing graphic design.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scott is also on the team, the art department team, who was on Terrifier as well. And basically, it's owned by a psychopath. So imagine leather, psychopath, sweatshop, gets a little crazy.
Yes, I love industrial revolutionary abuse. Yes.
It's like a really beautifully filmed. I mean, we had to create a factory from scratch. Like, we had the space, but being really creative with a tight budget, like we don't have money to buy leather, so we created fake leather with paper that we treated in different things, and it really like came to life in such a beautiful way. And again, like, I love what we do together, honestly. It's fun. And I swear, like, for example, the universe helping us with everything, we were meant to come together. We were meant to be a team that creates things together. So it's just like, I couldn't be more grateful.
Same here. I'm very thankful. I feel very, very blessed to just know these 2 and call them friends, but to be able to work with them is it's just an extra treat. It's wonderful.
Oh, and then Terrifier 3. I mean,
Terrifier 3. Absolutely.
Yeah, we would be honored to come back and tell the story again.
Yes.
Get stressed out again.
Well, if some of those things changed a little bit, sure.
We'll work out some of the kinks, and it'll be a little smoother.
We'll see. Damien might be too famous for us
by
the time the 3rd one comes out.
Yeah.
So.
He needs you and he knows it.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
Terrifier 3 would not look right without you 3. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
So amazing. That was so much. I couldn't think of a better way to spend today.
Honestly.
Thank you guys so much for just taking your afternoon to talk to us nerdy little podcasters. We're really excited.
Oh no, it means so much.
We're so happy to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
We'll let you go.
I actually have. You want to grab? I actually have a small bunch of these printed. If you want, I could send you guys one.
Oh my god!
So I'll contact you.
You are so
the podcast, and I'll send you one. It's got a little holographic sheen on it too.
Oh my goodness!
That's so cool.
I'm so
Thank you.
And we'll be sending some behind the scenes photos as well, so you see all a little bit of our chaos.
Yeah.
Blood gag, all the fun stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are so sweet, and we really do appreciate how the attention that you gave to to the things that we worked
So hard on,
hard on. Like it means a lot. We're so happy that as a whole everything was such a success and it came out so wonderfully. Like the film really, I did not anticipate anything of this magnitude.
No.
And then especially, when people recognize some of the, the maybe overlooked elements sometimes.
It was a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand when they're absorbing a film, there's so many different things that are leaning to that image. And so, obviously the actors are the ones that are telling the story and things like that. But, we all collaborated to create this world and story.
That's
so
right.
it means so much that you analyzed it so well. You guys are like the dream audience. That means so much that you pay attention to details and things. Thank you.
Y'all's work means a lot to us too. You've contributed beautiful things to the horror genre and to the film industry as a whole, and we hope to see more work from you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
It's so touching, seriously.
Yeah.
I will let you guys. I will let you all go. You ladies are lovely. You guys have a wonderful day together, okay?
Yes.
Bye.
It was great to see you guys. Bye.